I was wondering when we were going to get another one of these. What's going on, everyone? It's Rich Haywood here for Bacon Ice Cream Productions and Team RTFC, welcoming you to yet another episode of the Good Times Newsline Flashcast. Yeah, that's right. That's right. We're back with another Polymega news update. That's right. And what do we have here today? Well, it's not necessarily another piece of hardware or an update about the shipping of the hardware we're waiting for, like the GCO1, but it is new Polymega collections. Polymega collections 13 and 14 have been announced and revealed and are available on the Polymega store. So, I should say, as always, we go ahead and dive in on those days and check out to see what is up with the collections. Do we feel that there is enough in it to warrant your pre-order as far as the price point is concerned? And, some have been up, some have been down, that kind of thing. And then, we'll just check out to see what the titles are, all that kind of fun stuff. So let's dive right in. All right. So here we are on Polymega Collection, or polymega.com/collections/games. We've got 13 right here. That's volume It's been a long day, guys. Polymega Collection Volume 13 Sengoku Blade, which is cool. And Polymega Collection Volume 14 Astynax. So pretty decent. Pretty decent collections. Got a Gelco collection in there, and more from the Psycho. And let's go ahead and double check the Sengoku Blade collection here. Got Sengoku Blade there. Nice pictures. That's a rad looking pin. All right, very cool, very cool. Looking like just that disc there. Oh, it's Psycho and Gelco. Okay, cool. I wonder what the spine is going to be. Does it show the spine? Ooh, it's hard to read. Can I get in there? Can I do a... Let's see, PMCC03 it looks like. So they have a different designation for all those different companies. It's very cool, very cool. Nice. There might be is there a video? There is a video. I'm gonna hit that button there. Bang. Now available. Sengoku Blade. Featuring the original Samurai Aces and Tengai arcade games, plus home versions and bonus rarities. That's cool. Looking like a Saturn game in there. That's the arcade game. That's another arcade game for sure. There we go. Is that a NES game or Famicom, maybe? It looks like a Genesis, maybe? Arcade. Yeah, more arcade. Very cool. Available now at polymega.com. All right, awesome. So we'll go and take that there. All right, so let's take a look. Let's see what we got. Sengoku Blade Collection, Volume 13. It's $39.99, which of course is the thing there. Regular price. It says step into a world where realms collide with this compilation of classic arcade and console titles, infused spiritual sorcery. Oh, infused. I think it was supposed to be infused with spiritual sorcery. Pretty sure. Might be a typo there. At the heart of the collection is Psycho's legendary arcade hit, Sengoku Ace Tengai Episode 1, and its sequel, Sengoku Blade, two dazzling shooters that fuse sword-wielding heroes, mystical spirits, and relentless bullet hell action. Expanding the action even further, the collection features Psycho's arcade shooting gem, Dragon Blaze, where warriors ride dragons into battle against otherworldly forces, and Gelco's cult sci-fi shooter, Saint Dragon. Oh, sweet. Saint Dragon's on here. It was on the Evercade as well. Which transforms the player into a cybernetic dragon on a mission of vengeance, playable both in its arcade form and its home port for the PC Engine. All right, cool. As a bonus highlight, the set also includes Wampum, the rare and highly sought-after North American And wait, the rare and highly sought after North American release of Sayuki World 2, a treasure for collectors and fans alike. Fully replayable on Polymega, this collection delivers both nostalgia and discovery, offering an essential journey into the East's most legendary demon hunting tales. That's very cool. That's neat. And there's the game list there. It is the NES Famicom version of Wampum there. Samurai Aces, Sengoku Ace, Tengai, Sengoku Blade, Dragon Blaze, Saint Dragon, and Chimera Beast. It doesn't mention Chimera Beast up here. All right. So you just get that as well. What's included, the DVD, the visual companion, controller reference, the Polymega collection sticker, and the pin while supplies last, and it ships early October. And of course, it's compatible with all of the things. That's cool. All right, cool. That's really neat. Yes, that is Saturn. The Sengoku, Sengoku Blade, the Saturn version is included on the disc. So that's neat. You get a Saturn game. I think that's the second time, maybe even the first time that's happened on Saturn for one of these collections. Because it was the Turbo CD for the other one, or Neo Geo CD for the other one. Yeah, for the other collections. So that's cool. That's very neat. Very, very awesome. I like it. Sengoku Blade. It's kind of neat. I'm definitely going to... I'm pre-ordering them all, so... But I think this one is actually a really cool collection. Especially because, you got that rare gem. We can spot check it, too, on some collection websites to see how rare Wampum is as far as an NES game or a Famicom game. We take a look at that later. All right, let's go to Astyanax Collection 14. There's or Astyanax. Yeah. All right, just the disc. That's a cool looking pin again. There we go. That's cool. That's cool. Got some neat stuff there. All right, that's going to play. We're going to hit that. Now available. Okay, Joko Astyanax Collection 14, featuring the original 1989 arcade machine plus 5 games from the Jalco archives. Okay, so there's the Astyanax there, and then there's some... That's a cool one. Is that a Saturn game? That was the original Astyanax for NES. What is that? That's cool. I don't know what this is, but that looks neat. This also looks neat. Oh, a little pinball game. Look at an NES pinball game. Now available at Polymega.com. Oh, City Connection Co. Limited. That's what it is. Got it. So, City Connection... It's a reference to the game by Jalco. I guess they formed another LLC and then, absorbed all of the licenses or something like that. Let's see if it's a CC04 on this one. I mean, it probably is, but... Yep, CC04 on the bottom there. All right, cool. Very neat. Very neat stuff. Yep, there's Astyanax, $39.99. What do we got here? Travel through ancient battlefields and explore genre-bending game worlds with the special Jalco and Psycho collection for the Polymega. The centerpiece is Astyanax, also known as Lord of the King, available in both its arcade and NES versions, giving players two distinct takes on the same mythic adventure. From there, the collection branches into some of Jalco's most interesting and varied titles: Raisin Duel Dragons in the PS1 monster breeding RPG, Dragon Seeds. That's awesome. An RPG on one of these collections. Duel with enormous bosses in the side-scrolling game Totally Rad, aka Magic John. I'm pretty sure Totally Rad was on Evercade too. Cut through hordes of enemies in a dark fantasy brawling shooter Soul Divide. And you'll find the genre-bending Pinball Quest, which fuses RPG mechanics with classic pinball tables, and Taikaida Shingen Samurai Fighter, a side-scrolling brawler set in Japan's feudal era. With genre-bending classics and genre staples in one set, this Polymega DVD highlights Jalco's adventurous side and offers a range of experience you won't find collected anywhere else. That's very cool, and that's very true. That's neat. All right, so let's see what the game mixes are. Astyanax, Lord of the King, the arcade, the NES version, the PS1 version of Dragon Seeds, the arcade, the PS1 and Saturn versions of Soul Divide, Shengen Samurai Fighter on the PC Engine and the arcade, the NES version of Pinball Quest, and Totally Rad Magic John on the NES. What's included is the DVD, the visual companion, the controller reference, the sticker, and of course the pin, while supplies last, and ships early October 2025. I gotta tell you, that's another pretty good list on a collection. I mean, again, the $39.99 price point might scare some folks, might not, but these two collections here, 13, 14. That's another one that like at first you're like, I don't know, do I really need another copy of Astyanax? I have it on the other thing, and then like now you're getting Saturn games on there, and then of course like these might be big enough where it warrants being on the DVD because of the ROM size. That's very cool. That's very cool. I'm liking it. I'm liking it, folks. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. Did it continue leaning into this direction? I hope so, because that is very, very neat. The fact that they're leaning in to let's get some older games. Get some NES, get some arcade, get some of that kind of stuff, but then lean in to Saturn, PS1, and start throwing these on these DVDs, collected, officially licensed, like that kind of stuff. That's very, very cool. And especially because some of those Discovery pieces are a little rare, so you wind up getting maybe even some value of it, because it's like, oh yeah, I mean with asteroids and like some of the other things, yeah, you could probably find them collected somewhere else, or like most of the games are on an Evercade cart. You can get those for cheaper. Some of these games now you cannot get them on Evercade, and there's a question even if they would run on Evercade, to be honest. But they're not there. Some of these titles just don't exist. So that's very cool. I would say keep up on that side of things. And if you can get some cool licensing deals and you get that, lean into the more of that stuff, get some more Saturn, get some more PS1, maybe even some N64. You got the emulation, put some N64 on there. I know those are harder to license, but that's very cool. And RPGs? Yes, please. Man, maybe even if you could get some game arts and then like do like translation things or whatever. I know it's the hard ask, but we can get some working designs. Yeah, Lunar Collection, like a whole bunch of Sega CD games. Get Vey on there. There's some art. I was like, if you ever open the door to RPGs, I'm there, guys. First one to do it, I'll just do some backflips. And I already know, yeah. You can get the newly whatever released whatever things. And I own Silver Star already, again. But man, if you could make some of those happen, fully nicely collected, so I could put it in there, and then oof, I wouldn't have to pay like $200 or $300 for a copy of Eternal Blue. Just get it in a collection. Oof. Man, would that be cool? That would be rad. I mean, but even still, not even that. Like Popful Mail and Vey and like some of those other Sega CD games. How about a Sega CD game? That'd be kind of cool. Any Sega CD game, just pop it in there and just put some of those in the collection. That'd be neat. You got Saturn, throw some Sega CD in there. Why not? There was tons of great games. I mean, again, most of the RPG side of things though, there were all the work and design stuff. So or Sega themselves. There was Shining Force and all that stuff. But But very cool, very cool. Am I going to be ordering these? Of course. Of course, I'm going to order them. When they come in, we'll do an unboxing. We'll take the pins. We'll put them up here with all the other pins. And then eventually I'll get through and we'll play all this stuff. Maybe this will be the thing. So it's going to come out in early October. And then maybe that'll shake me and be like, oh, look, if I do 2 collections a week until we get into October, I might be able to get them all done before the collections actually arrive at the door, and then I can do the new collections as soon as I open them. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments. What do you guys think about this story? About whether or not you're down with this stuff? You think that the Play Magi or the Team Polymega is in on this? They're doing a good job. That kind of thing, or you'd rather them do something else. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think, because we're interested in hearing what you guys have to say on here. I read all the comments, and then we'll get back to you as soon as I can on replying to the comments. We're trying to do a bit better on that. So, like I said, get down there. And before we get on out of here, we got to do one thing and one thing only, and that is thank every single member of, you guessed it, the Good Times Club. So let's do that right now. Let's thank the EverCanadian, Crimson Cross, George Games, Chris Westerman, Phantom Fiction, Lloyd R. Jim, Papa Pete, the Intellivision Gamer, Ken LaCure, Mr. Shura, John Willig, Gunsy20, Herb Wars, DF, Joe Whitlash, David Valdez, Dr. Mark, Dan Nastic, Dr. Mark, Mad Scientist, and the Atari Creep. Thank you guys all so much for being members, for being awesome, for being supportive of this channel and its efforts, and 1080p StreamYard glory, not only here, but on the Evercade Effect, that's Ed's channel, and the Evercast, and Calling Our Retro Gamers. All of those things and more are supported by the efforts of the GTC. We can't thank you enough. Want to be a member? Hit the join button. You can join on in and get some cool exclusive content. More things will be coming as the month of September rolls on. I actually just locked in permission to go somewhere for some cool things. I might be helping out another buddy that is a member of the GTC. More on that in a little bit. But all sorts of other fun things are going to be happening in September. So if you want to hit the button, go ahead. If not, that's okay. Leave likes, leave dislikes, leave comments for sure. Hit that red subscribe button. Helps us out, and the bell for notification. So that way, when my face has something for you, you know. All right, guys. Well, until next time, we will catch you next time for some good times. I'm Rich, and we will see you later. Take it easy, guys.
rtfc.baconicecream.com